November 14th, 2023. This is the S&P 500 E-Futures Mini on the NinjaTrader 8 platform. This is what I saw on the charts today. There was one piece of economic data that came out at around 5:30 Pacific Standard, pretty much where this gigantic spike and crazy rally occurred. It was the core CPI, pretty much the inflation index, and month over month and year over year. And I guess the market pretty much reacted very positively because this is all pre-market in this gray area. It did a spike and then it did this pretty big yellow channel, but I wasn't sure if this yellow channel was the correct one because it looked like maybe this higher trend line could have been where the channel was. So I actually just kind of kept the yellow channel, but drew this blue one to supplement it. I kind of took too many trades today. I definitely went on tilt, and I'm very fortunate I didn't completely damage my account. I took a total of, actually, I took a total of 12 trades, which is like, I don't know, 10, 11, 9 trades too many. I won. So there's 3 trades that were just, I just kind of went on tilt and lost it. So I'll describe those, but there weren't really any setups. And out of the other 9 trades, I won 6 and lost 3. But it was definitely very emotional for me today. I should have just kind of called it or recognized I wasn't feeling quite right even at the beginning of the day. I was feeling just been a lot been happening, so I wasn't most in tune with what was going on, and I would consider today a very lucky day for me in terms of I didn't do more damage than what possibly could have happened. So I'm going to go into the trades right now. I'm only going to describe 9 of the 12 trades because the other 3 trades were, well, they're nothing burgers, and I'll go through them briefly. This is a pre-market lows, and the economic data came out and it flashed up. So it jumped from roughly 44.33 all the way up to 44, let's say 44.87. That's like a 50-point jump. And even the entire range today from the highs to the lows was over 100 points on the E-Futures Mini. It was like 41.20, and it easily made 45.20 and then some. So it was quite a very strong bullish day. So even before the market opened, you could tell things were going pretty crazy. There was a little bit of consolidation. I found this channel first. I really wasn't sure where it was lining up because I actually had this a little bit sharper and I was playing with it throughout the day as the market opened, stuff like this, but eventually settled on the yellow channel. So the first setup I actually saw, go ahead and zoom in. You have a new high here, the first entry long, second entry long. Now this is a possible trade. There's 2 legs back. One leg pulls pull back, and the second leg is bounce off the EMA. It's a good signal bar. It's only 6 ticks on this candle here, so the risk is really low. There's enough room for a scalp. What stopped me and what caused me to hesitate in taking this trade was even though there's enough room for a scalp, it is pushing toward the very top of the pre-market, and this is only the very second minute of the day. So I was a little hesitant. I needed this. If this pre-market was actually much, much higher, then I would feel a little bit more confident taking this entry. But I wasn't really sure, and I didn't know that today would just have this really strong trending bullish rally. Then the next setup I saw was a new high here. Technically, you have a first entry long formed right here. It goes all the way up. You don't get your second entry long till about right here, but this is a pretty bad signal bar. And the trigger bar, once it closed, it's below the EMA. So at this point in time, I'm not sure if this is truly going to keep moving up because you might be running into the top of this trading range as a potential resistance because it looked like there was a little bit of respect paid by price action by the candles, but it came right back in, pushed out, came right back in. It also made lower highs every time. So I wasn't sure if this is going to actually push that strongly through. So then prices pushed up, came back, and when it flashed actually it made 2 ticks below and went back up. I considered taking this trade and I was waiting and I hesitated too long, but this is a pretty nice confirmation of the second entry long. It broke over the pre-market high very strongly and is coming from a bounce off the bottom of this potential yellow channel because once price action kind of moved to here, I drew this yellow channel to try to have the confirmation and touch these 3. And it's a little bit noisy here, but you can count this as at least one touch, two touch, three touch. So this was a possible trade, but you'd have to probably take it on the engulfing. And this is a very low risk candle. It looks like it's only about, wow, it's only, this candle is very, very tiny. It's only 3 ticks. So definitely something worth considering. Prices then continue moving up. It's pushing against the high and continuing upwards. I see this green channel and I see it, I follow it up. And right now it's kind of hitting the top. So I think this is the top of the yellow channel. So I have 1, 2, 3 confirmations at this point. And this is where I actually get ready for my first setup. I thought this is a new high. It's a first entry long. And this one's getting ready to form the second entry long. I took this trade because it's breaking out of this green channel. And I saw it as one attempt up, pull back, and it could be the second attempt up to reach this high. And I saw that this candle wasn't that big a risk because it's only about 6 ticks. So I decided it's a decent signal bar. It is, bullish. So I entered 1 tick above and I was able to quickly get out. I wanted to make sure I just kind of quickly scalped a quick trade out of this. Then price is chopped and it kind of goes up. It tests this yellow channel and now it starts breaking through. So I'm not 100% sure this yellow channel is valid. So I drew this orange channel going up and it looks like it is kind of being respected by price action. Hits a consolidation area, breaks down, and starts going back into this yellow channel. Drops around. I don't see any clean setup. This is a trade that I actually saw and I missed. Let's see here. If I can drag this down. I saw this as a new low. It's a first entry short, second entry short, failure on the second entry short, and then it creates a higher low and it bounced right off the EMA. Now, this is a trade I actually saw this as it was forming, and I put my entry at the highs of this previous candle here, this red doji looking candle, but it never came back and filled me. So I hesitated a little bit too long, and I think I would have just dropped in an order much more quickly if this red candle had actually just been closed green or more bullish. Then I feel a little more confident. But since it was a little ambiguous, I missed this trade. Prices then continue moving. It looks like it's violating this yellow channel now. Goes up, it comes up, and I'm thinking maybe this yellow channel isn't valid, or it's at least the bottom support is valid, but maybe the top of the channel I'm not 100% sure of. So I'm watching. It hits this consolidation area. I see a new high. It's a first entry long pullback, second entry long. Now, you don't know it's a second entry long until it comes to about right here. And I did draw this green channel coming up, but I couldn't quite get this overshoot to fit. But when it overshot here and I made a matching overshoot here, that was kind of a good sign that this channel might actually be in play. But even then, when I saw this, I wasn't really thinking in my mind to go long. This had to have closed a little bit more bullish than I would have felt it was a better setup. So I call this an almost setup. And here it bounced off the lower part of this green channel, but again, it wasn't a good clean setup. Chops around, breaks through, and here when it touches these 2 points, I actually made a parallel line to this yellow and dragged it up, and that's where this blue one comes in. So I was debating whether this channel is actually from this bottom of the yellow and all the way up to the top. The thing I didn't like about putting the channel up where this blue line is there's too much space up here, whereas where it originally was, there is a nice price action kind of hitting the top, except it wasn't very firm at the top because it looks like it's just so bullish and breaking through. And this is end up where I take my second trade. I saw this as a potential congestion range area. It has a failed breakout. It's coming back in. I saw first entry long pullback. It came back, made a double top. These two candles are the same sizes. And I'm watching carefully now because I also noticed there's a potential triple test. 1, 2, 3. So I actually had my order ready. And I was thinking if it continues downward into this yellow channel, then likely this blue line could be where the actual top of the channel was. But if it bounces off and continues upward as a true second entry long, then I want to have a trade ready. So it formed, it creates this nice trigger bar, which closed very bullish. And that when I saw this close, I immediately said, I want to get in on this trade. I entered at the high of this bar. So actually it ticked down. I was able to drop in my order. It fills me and then it just flashes up and gets me a quick profit. I just wanted to make sure I got out before I potentially hit the top of this range. prices then continue moving, I did see a potential second point to enter, which would be this higher low. The thing I don't like about this higher low is it's too close to the top of this range, and all the previous candles were already very congested. So it looked like it was having a little bit of trouble breaking up and through. So even though this is a very good signal bar for a higher low, I just didn't trust it. Then it kept moving up. I drew this orange channel going up, kind of goes out. It respects and touches this blue line again. So I'm thinking more and more that, hey, maybe this blue line, there's something going on here, even though this yellow channel is what I've been playing with the whole time. It bounced off this yellow channel. So I'm just thinking there might be like a second range or second channel where this yellow top channel is and this blue one. And this is where I actually take my third trade. I saw a new high here. It's the first entry long, pull back. It's about to create a second entry long, and I'm thinking it's bouncing off the top of this yellow channel again. And I'm also seeing a new low here, first entry short, second entry short. Now, everything depends on what this next candle does. If it breaks above this guy, then I will have a confirmed second entry long, and I'll have a confirmed failed second entry short. So this candle doesn't break below this guy, and I really like what I saw because I saw new low, first entry short, second entry short, failure. New high, first entry long, second entry long. And I believe this is going to move back up, bounce off this yellow channel. So I actually entered above the original signal bar, which is right here. And I'm thinking I'm just going to take it for a quick point. It never fills, it never hits it falls one tick short and flashes down, and I get stopped out. So I looked at this and I kept thinking, what did I miss? What did I miss? The one thing I could see is, you know, this wasn't a very good signal bar for the second entry long. EMA is flat, so it's not really coming into play. And you could argue there is a potential trading range here. So if I believed all that, then this entry is actually pretty hot, close to the highs, and it is a little congested. But I thought this was a decent setup at the time. So that's my first red trade. Prices then continue up, flashes down, comes back down, and here it's going to hit the bottom of this yellow channel now. Now, this yellow channel I have a lot of respect for, or I think prices will respect it. Whether I respect it or not makes no difference. What I meant to say is I think prices will respect it and create a bounce because it had one touch, two touch, three touch. And then whether the channel is actually this blue line or this yellow, it looks like it moved to the top and now it's going to come back down to the bottom. On such a bullish day, I'm expecting at least a quick little bounce back up. So here, I saw this as first entry long. I mean, technically you have a third entry long because you have the new high here, first entry long, second entry long, third entry long, but I saw it as a big visual. I saw this as one leg down, push up, see where this green channel was. It breaks out, comes back down, tests the low, and is pushing back up. So I saw one leg down, push up, second leg down, made the new low, and now it's coming back up. So even though this isn't the best signal bar, I was playing off the strength of this support of the yellow channel. So I entered where this triple top was. And I thought if it breaks above, then it might go. So I waited for this candle to break one tick above these three matching triple micro triple top. I dropped in my order of where it was. It came back, filled me, and I was able to quickly get out. Looks like I was safe for at least another point if I wanted to. Then it came back, breaking back down, falls into this consolidation area. So this is actually my fourth trade, and it was it was green, so I'm 3 green, 1 red. And I should probably just stop there, but I was kind of eager to keep trading. And then it gets this consolidation area. I saw this higher low. Saw this new low here. The first entry short, pull back, second entry short, failed second entry short, but this isn't a very good, a clean area to take a long because when you see this failure, you're running into a potential top of the range. Also, price action is showing that the most recent price action is coming back down. When it flashes up, now I'm thinking, okay, I need to switch gears, maybe take a long or get ready to take a long. Comes back down, pulls back, it chops around here, and it creates this higher low. I really like this higher low because it engulfs this entire candle. It looks like if you saw this as one leg up, first entry short, even though there's second entry short here by the count, you just look at a visual first entry short, second entry short. Now it's failing, and it failed, and it engulfed this entire candle. EMA is holding. It broke outside of this trading range. There's a failed breakout here. It might make a matching one here, and it could come back down, but it looks like at least I thought there was momentum to push back up. So I entered one tick, well, actually the same Actually, it's actually 2 ticks above here. I got a little bit of slippage, but I wanted 1 tick above, which would have matched the highs or the close of this candle. I was able to get in though and quickly get a scalp. Then prices continue chopping, and it kind of goes up. And I think it's falling in this green channel. It breaks out, it touches, it bounces around, and then I was a little confused because it looked like this orange channel also fit pretty nicely, flashed up. So here I saw a new low. It's the first entry short, second entry short. Here, the second entry short, it didn't fail on this candle, but it fails on this candle. So on this candle, when it fails, I thought, okay, it looks like it's going to keep moving up. So I entered at the same highs here, thinking it's bouncing off this orange up channel. It looks like it wants to move back into this big yellow channel, and this is a good signal bar. So I entered, and I get stopped out. It flashes down, it takes me out. Now it was kind of a bummer, but I looked at it and I wondered, you know, after this break, it broke down. Maybe the uptrend had played out, and maybe this bottom of this yellow channel is acting as resistance. So that's the only things I could think of why this potential trade didn't work out. And I was thinking, if I was given the chance again, I would have probably taken the same trade because it looked like it was just it would have worked, but it didn't, even though it's high probability or high probability trades aren't guaranteed. And I thought this was a decent setup. There's a new high. It's a first entry long, second entry long. So the second entry long, I saw this as a break of this orange up channel. This orange up channel is the first break. I think it's going to come back up and test the highs. And I'm still believing that, this yellow, big yellow channel wants to come back and test the highs because this yellow channel could have been the top could have been this blue line. So I was still thinking there's so much bullish momentum. There is a potential trade here. So I actually entered 1 tick at the same highs, and it quickly flashed up, got filled, and then it kind of rejected quickly. So this was kind of a lucky trade. This wasn't the cleanest setup, but I'll take it. And the EMA was flattening out. Then prices move down. It breaks out of this green channel, and so I saw this break of this green channel, and I actually saw this as a new low, matching low. Even though I counted this as new low, first entry short, pull back. I saw this as second entry short, and as it broke below, I thought, well, it's following this green channel down, so it wants to come back down and test it. Now, this trade failed, but what I wanted to note was when I saw this, I'm seeing the rejection of this green channel coming down and rejection off the EMA. So I took the entry, it flashed back up, it stopped me out. At the time, I didn't consider that there's this big overshoot that's happening, and I was playing with the idea of maybe the trading channels here, but even then I still have an overshoot, which meant this could cause a correction. Now I considered briefly dragging all the way down here, but then this just doesn't look right because it looks like I'm just trying too hard to include this. So it's actually probably closer to this or closer to this. And there was an overshoot here. I didn't take that into account. I should have skipped this trade altogether because it's a little confusing. So this ended up actually being trade number 8, and it was red. And as you can tell, it's already too many trades for the day. So after I lost this one, and I also lost this one, so I lost this one, I got green on this one, I lost this one. I was pretty exhausted mentally. That's definitely when I should have walked away, but I didn't. So I just kind of went on I guess, tilt, got emotional. I actually entered here, sold here, entered here, sold here. This is based off of no rhyme or reason. Entered here, sold here. And even though these 3 were profitable trades, these should not have occurred because there's no setup here. I just kind of started clicking buttons. I just kind of I revenged some profit back, but this is a foolish thing to do. Then prices continue moving up. I kind of got my bearings after a while because I got up at this time, went to the bathroom, got something to drink, kind of calmed down. Came back and I watched the price action. Came back down. I saw a new high. It's first entry long, pull back. I think there's a second entry long because it's the first break of this orange channel. I think it wants to test this high again. So I entered 1 tick above, and this is a relatively low risk signal bar. Quickly got my profit, and it consolidates a little bit and then comes flashing back down or grinding back down, breaks out of this green channel. And at this point, I was at least smart enough to know, like, I kind of dodged a bullet today with this reckless behavior over here. And definitely all the trades I took today, there was just too many to take the trades. But there were a couple of trades like this one, I thought there was good reason to take it because it looked like it was a failed second entry short. It was going with trend and then it failed on me. So that definitely triggered me. And then this one wasn't a well thought out trade because even though it's a second entry short, EMA is rejecting. I thought it was rejecting off this lower, this downward green channel. This wasn't a very clean setup because you know, the trading candle could have been here or it could have been here. Nevertheless, there is an overshoot. I cannot deny that there's overshoot here, so I should have been more patient and careful right here. So that's how I saw the trades today. Definitely overtraded, went on tilt, revenged, and very lucky today that I did do crazy damage to my account. So I actually came out green, but these three trades over here definitely helped, which was based off of nothing and definitely should have not been taken because this is just, if I do this enough times, I'm definitely going to get burned because there's no indication, there's no read of the chart here. So hopefully that was helpful.